Hello guys, yeah, 668 here today. Welcome to by far one of my favorite engines so far in my collection. No, that's not actually the name of this title. You can see it now. It is the 2020 run of the ES44 GEVO. This has been 2 weeks in the making. And by that I mean I paid for it while it was still 2020. I paid for it and the shipment was completed the 26th. It shipped from Train Road the 29th. Here we are, January 7th, 2021. Today it arrived. You're correct. Today it arrived. And it shipped the 29th of December. And that should tell us something about UPS right now. I mean not UPS, USPS. So, let me start out by saying I love this engine. Not only just because it's new, but also because it has a lot more features. Of course, I run a Dynamis system, Bachmann Dynamis. It was the cheapest DCC system I could get. But it is still my favorite engine. Some of y'all might be criticizing this, which I don't know why y'all would criticize an already perfect engine. Like, I understand that maybe the lift irons might be molded on, but this ain't no partly brass engine, right? Maybe not partly brass, mostly brass, like the new Genesis SD70N or whatever Ahearn Genesis 2.0 is doing. I don't remember. The last thing I heard from them was Dash 9. By the way, Ahearn folk, hi. So, I recommend this for anyone who's looking for a next level engine. Do be careful with it. This is not one that you'd want to put under the tree or run on the floor, but I have no choice. This thing probably won't be seen in a club until Sunday if I'm lucky. That's only when the club is open. I did tip off one of my subscribers while we were kind of friends outside of YouTube as well. I only met the kid once about this engine, and for once I have not lied. I said I was going to get an SD40-2 last time I got a BNSF engine. Well, the first time I got a BNSF engine. Turned out I got a GP38. I said I was going to get an Athearn Genesis SD70 ACE. I got a Walthers mainline. This time I said that I was going to get an Ahearn Genesis GEVO. I got an Ahearn Genesis GEVO. Ahearn Genesis has my appraisal right now, right? Let's compare it to what I usually have 2 years ago. This is a Bachmann -840 CW. I don't know its run year, but I do know that it's YN2, so it must be saying something because YN2 is rare nowadays. This is an absolute, I don't care what Sam's Train says, this is an absolute dumpster fire. That's why I'm keeping it off to the side. It's a dumpster fire. It's good for what it is, but it was made by Bachmann. And we all know Bachmann, they have some good, mostly bad. I'm saying this from a Bachmann buyer primarily used perspective. Bachmann's prototypes, even in the new 2020 catalog, are not even to the prototype. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, that I have to remember it. I might have to go get the catalog. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that a BNSF GP40 with Heritage 3 paint For those of y'all who might be saying Heritage 3 what? I consider this Heritage 3. Heritage 2 is the gold lettering with the Heritage 3 livery. Heritage 1 is the Great Northern base, the Great Pumpkin essentially. So you have the Great Pumpkin. Heritage 2 which evolves into this. So I'm pretty sure the BNSF GP38-2 or GP40 would not be paired up with a 40-foot Union Pacific gondola at all. That's a train set example. Another example would be, I'm pretty sure that this is the one I keep forgetting. I'm trying to use it. And I'm not trying to bash Bachmann, but they screw up a lot of their prototypes. They advertise them as new, they have the new markup prices. But no, they have low detail. You can't find pictures of them anywhere. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Bachmann no more. I'll get Bachmann to build up numbers, but I won't maintain a Bachmann locomotive fleet no more. So, let's go over the features of this engine without going into a review because there's already 2 of them. First things first, high-ad trucks. This is a 2010 make, which means the engines that got these high-ad trucks are 10 years old, starting last year. These engines will probably be going on 11 this year. Second thing, PTC and roof detail. The most detail I got on a roof was on the dash 8, and that was just a little antenna. And maybe some diamond plating for the anti-slip tread. No, if we look on the GEVO, I'm not going to look for you. There is actually a clear spot where there's a definite color change. In fact, even a texture change. Yeah, there's a texture change. Where the anti-slip pad or trail or whatever, y'all would know what it is, goes from the actual metal to this protective coating that prevents you from slipping. I can see why. Look at all those danger symbols. So what kind of GEVO is this? Well, and it does skip 5. What kind of GEVO is this? Well, it's the 2020 run. Ahearn this year did the ES44 AC. I think, y'all would have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think these are C4 trucks. High-ad C4 trucks. I think. No, they must be something because even the CSX model has the 4 wheels on the side. But then again, those could be ATSF trucks. Y'all would have to tell me how many cylinders to look for because right now I'm only seeing 1 and 2. Yep, y'all would have to tell me what a C4 truck would actually look like. I remember something about 4 cylinders per truck. I don't know if that was per truck as a whole or per side frame. Y'all would have to tell me. But another thing I like about it is the fact that it's my actual first General Electric engine. I've been wanting one of these General Electric engines since I first got into model railroading. Back when I barely knew crap about crap. Right, back in the day, which would be 5-6 years ago, when I first got my first train car, which was a 50-foot flat with a trailer, Union Pacific. I couldn't tell a Dash 9 from a Dash 8, from an AC44, from an AC6000, from a GEVO, from an SD70. A lot of information I spit out. Essentially, I couldn't tell them apart. Now I know what to look for. And I'm sorry to say this, but some people, some GEVOs don't have GEVO engines. Pretty sure the cab doesn't make a GEVO. Pretty sure it's the engine that makes the GEVO. Which would probably make sense to why it's called a GEVO. Do I plan on weathering this? Very lightly. Very lightly. Maybe pop off the side handrails and put some acrylic black on the vents. Otherwise, I want to retain the fresh paint look, which is why I got the fresh paint look. Another thing I love about this is the level of protection, right? All the locomotives I got before this, you pull the packet, you get your cardboard box and everything, right? You open the flap, pull out the engine, remove the cover, there's your engine. Put on the track you go. With the Ahearn Genesis engines, you have to open the box, which is already difficult to do. Some of us already know that. Then you have to remove the foam, well, paperwork and foam if you keep the paperwork with the engine. Then you have to pull the clamshell packaging out, then you have to open the clamshell packaging, then you have to get out the engine. I like that method of storage better. Call it biased, but I feel primarily safer if I were to go traveling with this engine. I'd feel safer if all my engines had the same thing. I'll gladly pay another $20 for a budget locomotive if it had that level of protection. So Ahearn, I am astounded and I am shocked at how well your packaging is. Maybe other brands like Bachmann and Walthers and whoever else does the more freight car style packaging can gain a lesson from you guys, because I'm simple man, and simple man gets surprised by simple stuff. At least me. And I am very surprised at how well protected that engine was. Outside of train road protection that was already in place for the shipping, I am surprised at how difficult it was to get that engine out. It took me 5 minutes to get it out. Now the reason why I'm not bringing the engine closer is because I also want y'all to also get the personal experience. I don't want y'all to focus on the engine, but let that run in the background. Now we're going to talk future. We're going to mute the engine. Really sad. I do love that GEVO 12 sound. The future. So I'm not going to pick the camera up out of its placement because it is a beat to get on to the stand I have. So I'm currently running 22-inch radius Bachmann Easy Track. For a while I'm going to retain this Easy Track. I'm pretty sure that some of y'all can see why. I have room for a layout, I just don't have room for a layout at the same time. Layout planning stuff. If I were to get the layout the way I want it, I'd only have 2 feet front to open my door. This is my bedroom. Something else to talk about is, hey look, hardwood floor. I actually relocated rooms. So if you go back earlier in my channel, you'll see that I used to have a carpet floor. Now here we are, hardwood floor. Anyway, I will actually be extending this out another 18 inches out. Where's paintbrush? That way, so towards the phone. I'm recording this with a S10. The future, I'm going to have crossovers back. Come on, show it. Alright, see where that spaceship is? Where those Lego creations are? Right back behind here, right behind this building here. The Martin Salt building. I'm going to have a few crossovers. And they're expensive, $90 a piece. Nickel silver probably explains it. I'm going to have some crossovers there. Those easily tax up to 4 feet in length. I'm going to be getting those. I also have a angle to my oval, so it doesn't look like a generic oval. It's still the full width oval, I just widened it. So I'm going to eventually get up to a double track main. I'm going to get a yard going. As you can already see, I have a spare bumper. Not as well detailed as my other one, which is on this siding back here. Y'all can see the shadow, but the Martin Salt building, there's tracks running through it. By the way, I also recommend the Menards buildings if you're a beginner modeler and if you're just starting out and want a floor. I also recommend Bachman's. The only time you'll probably hear this. You'll also hear me. I'm thinking faster than my tongue's trying to catch up. I almost did it again. I recommend Bachman's siding pack. It contains a freight car, building, and a siding. If you have a train set, nothing else, well, if you have just a train set with like a circle of track, it can get you a basic oval and a siding real fast. So, I'm going to be getting a siding back and down in here. I'll also be getting another storage track. I'm trying to keep it semi-realistic, so I'm going to have a runaround integrated into the yard. Which is what this track closest to us, where this bumper is. That's what this bumper is going to be a part of, is the lead eventually. Well, I call it the lead, it's probably not. It's probably just another section of track where I can park the caboose while I'm doing the switching. And that's what I also do, run caboose, or shoving platforms. How derogatory do you want to get with a caboose? Yes, their purpose now is shoving platform, but I prefer to call them caboose because, classics. Can't have a train without the caboose. Fred is waste of space. Bring back the caboose. I know a lot of y'all out there would agree with me. Bring back the caboose. I have a caboose. Operation Lifesaver. Coincidentally enough, it's a BNSF caboose. Another thing too. I'll pause the video real quick. Another thing too. I would like y'all to guess, if I can grab it, what these blocks of foam are going to be used for. Never mind, I won't leave y'all to guess. I won't leave y'all cliffhangers, but y'all might be asking why. I'm going to be using it to build a display to display 2 Southern Pacific locomotives. The locomotives I picked out, I don't have any numbers, I just have generalized liveries though. Locomotives I picked out is an SD40T-2 and an SD45. The general lettering that I would like to have, I know that the SD40T-2s had this. Don't know if the SD45s had it, is the D and RGW speed lettering. Primarily because that's what I've grown up knowing Southern Pacific to have. Now, if I can't get the SD45, I will be getting the Santa Fe SD40, which I know that there's an abundance of. You can practically go to the store and be guaranteed, except for my local hobby shop, their short supply on engines. It's not their fault, they're just a small little brick and mortar hobby shop. They have a back section, but they're limited in what they have to display because they also sell other things. They don't sell just trains, they also sell model aircraft, tanks, cars, trucks, remote control vehicles, model remote control aircraft. Yeah, they sell a lot. So you can practically go to any store and get a Santa Fe SD40-2, is what I'm saying. I'm staying away from Bachmann with these choices too. One reason. I want to be able to see through the vents. Ahearn Genesis, I know you might not be able to, but I'd still like to know that at least it's got quality and protection. I find it scary that overseas, Bachmann is like one of these prized companies. And simply crossing the couple thousand miles of ocean, you get garbage. I've said it before, not on YouTube, but I'll say it again for here on YouTube. Bachmann's not my go-to. I do have a Bachmann car in this train. Second car back is a ACF 4-bay covered hopper with the non-grain troughs. Some of y'all BNSF fans have told me that BNSF primarily operates grain operations with their grain hoppers, which is why I call them grain hoppers. So, oh yeah, another thing for y'all to look for. Some of y'all don't get the chance to go up there. I don't encourage this whatsoever. I discourage it. I called the cops on a couple of kids for doing it a few days ago too. But I do condone it if you're on a bridge. Or if you have a sight down onto the train. Is look for the hatches. BNSF hoppers primarily have a grain trough system. Whereas some other hoppers have like hatches and whatnot. My throat's getting dry. Let's grab the dew. So that's another thing that might be for a grain hopper from another traditional hopper. Alright, traditional is a bit too far because if we go to traditional, we're going back to preschool. And in preschool, when they say draw a hopper, they expect a Bethlehem 100-ton hopper. Or a USA 100-ton. Whoever made it, they made it 100-ton hopper. And that's what they expect. They don't expect a young train enthusiast to draw them a aluminum-sided Bethgon coal porter with reporting marks and everything for the Burlington Northern. I have some talent. Yes, it's decayed over the years, but I have some talent. I impressed a teacher. A kindergarten teacher when I drew a Burlington Northern aluminum-sided coal porter. I don't remember the number. I had the picture laying around somewhere. But I don't know where. Otherwise, I'd show you guys. Teacher was impressed. Let's just say that. They expect, alright, here's your stanchions, and then the hopper. I'm making hand movements off camera. But they expect general. They don't expect prototype specific details. I was pretty knowledgeable about cars back then. Not locomotives. I was more concerned with, well, what differs a boxcar from a boxcar from a boxcar? Of course, during this time, we also had CSX, Great Northern, and Southern Pacific, the Ahearn GEVO. List goes on. Let's just say that it was the color, instead of it being the color era being restricted to BN, let's just say that it was across the United States. Alright, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I'm going to call it. But let's just say, again, overview. I recommend this for those of y'all who are wanting a locomotive or an upgrade or whatever you do. At least not for a few years yet. Do not torch. I've already heard way too many comments about the horn. In fact, let's unmute. No, listen, skip out. I've heard way too many compliments about this, and I agree. I love that one. Anyway, let's get the run by going. Sorry for wasting y'all's time. This was only supposed to be a 10-minute video, but I guess I ramble a lot. And we also talked about what the future plans are for the future. So, let's get going.